I'm now being joined on Evening Prime by Professor Prashanjit Biswas, who is the Vice President of the NEHU Teachers Association. Of course, he's a professor at the NEHU University. First of all, Professor Biswas, thank you so much for giving us your time this evening and welcome to Evening Prime. My question to you, Professor Biswas, this is a very serious situation that has been ongoing for 4 days now. The students have been on the hunger strike. A number of them are also falling ill. But despite that, the students are undeterred and, they're not looking back and absolutely, unwilling to put down this hunger strike that they're currently holding. So what is the present situation right now? And are you expecting some sort of resolution to come forth in the coming days, Professor Biswas?
Yes, these are the questions of great concern. First of all, many students are falling sick, and just now, Meban Kharmaulang, one of our students, has been shifted from Shillong Civil Hospital to Negrims for an MRI test, and the condition is seemingly critical as the report comes. So what is happening is that because of no responsive kind of a response, total irresponsive kind of a stony silence that is coming from the other side, from the side of the Vice Chancellor, we don't see any light that it could be resolved so soon. His attempt to hold a dialogue also has been very, very feeble. And on the other side, what Honorable Governor has told us, that his intervention is going to come forth. We expect that it is going to come forth. But meantime, students have one point demand, that the Vice Chancellor has lost all the moral legitimacy to continue, and hence he must resign. And they are sticking on to it. I don't see any breakthrough in that until and unless their demand is resolved as it is, as they are demanding it. There won't be any resolution. We from the teacher side is rather feeling that we are standing with our students at this critical hour, and their action shall determine the future of this university. We from our side have already stated all that has gone wrong in the last 3.5 years, and even going beyond last 3.5 years. And we can experience a steady decline of the university because of, once again, irresponsible action or non-response from the side of the powers that be in the university. So therefore, there is a need for a change, and students are praying for a change, teachers are praying for a change, and in the meantime, situation is becoming very, very critical. Students are falling sick. They are trying to express their voices as much as they can, going beyond their capacity. And this is something very, very unique. And this is creating a sense among the student community that there will be solidarity to support the cause of NEHU. NEHU really needs a better treatment. NEHU needs to redeem itself from the current stalemate by whichever way it is possible, by emphasizing the demand that students are making, and teachers are standing very firmly with it. Now some intervention must come so that a mediational role is possible, but that is not happening because the administration, the Vice Chancellor, has remained totally responsive to the basic demands of the student. And in the evening today, situation as it stands today is becoming critical. Many more students may God forbid, shouldn't fall sick, but if they fall sick, situation will really become very, very critical.
Right. But Professor Biswas, if sources are to be believed, the Meghalaya government is actually quite concerned regarding the current situation. And there is also a very high chance that they might call the Vice Chancellor for a meeting sometime next week. So do you see this as a positive sign?
I hope so that it happens that way. But if the Vice Chancellor doesn't relent, because seemingly he has taken an unrelenting position, and the background of the position is that why this demand has emanated. It is because of thoroughly irresponsible behavior of the registrar, and his defense of the registrar, defense of this errant official has led to the situation whereby students and other stakeholders now strongly feel that the moral legitimacy of holding the high office of Vice Chancellor has come to a cropper. The Vice Chancellor has reached at the end of his role, and therefore he can only remain but that remaining will carry no meaning because student and teaching community and other larger fraternity of Meghalaya and Northeast really want to see a better situation in the Northeastern Hill University, the most premier of all the universities of Northeast, is the mother of all the central universities of the Northeast. It has to be restored to its earlier sheen, to its earlier glory, and for that, whatever is needed, students and teaching community are ready to do. And that's how students are expressing their dissent very, very strongly in a democratic way. And they are sacrificing so much, they are suffering so much. The whole campus is suffering. There is grief, there is concern, there is anxiety, mixed with a sense of suspense. No one knows what can happen at any point of time. I hope situation doesn't turn towards the worst, and there is no positive intervention so far. We are only hoping for an intervention. I hope that comes.
Right. Let's just hope for the sake of the students that some resolution does come along soon enough. For now, Professor Biswas, thank you very much for all of those details, and thank you for joining us on Evening Prime. All right, so viewers, we now also have with us, joining us on Evening Prime, Mr. Toniho Kharsati, who is the General Secretary of NEHU Students Union. So once again, Mr. Kharsati, thank you very much for giving us your time, and welcome to Evening Prime. My question to you, Mr. Kharsati, a number of the protesting students have taken ill today due to tiredness and exhaustion, and understandably so, because, they have been on a hunger strike for more than 4 days now, and that is definitely not something to be taken lightly. So despite the situation of the students falling sick, the protesting students don't seem to be deterred. You are adamant to continue this hunger strike as long as the Vice Chancellor does not step down. Am I understanding your position correctly, Mr. Kharsati?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. So as you have correctly pointed out that the situation in our university is getting worse with each passing hour, with each passing day. Students are falling ill, they are being hospitalized every now and then. And some of the students are in really serious conditions, while some of them, they have been discharged and they have joined the protest. However, we have cases where the students' conditions is getting worse. However, I would also like to say that the protest, that the hunger strike, this decision of taking a hunger strike, of continuing hunger strike, it's not something that how it is being portrayed as students being adamant. Even the Vice Chancellor, in his recent press release, he said that students are adamant and they do not want to listen to him. But the very fact is that we have been forced to remain silent for these many years with this Vice Chancellor sitting in this chair of our university. Reason being, it is not that we, the students, we are adamant. It is the Vice Chancellor who is adamant. Since last 2 years, the students' community have been asking the Vice Chancellors for pro-Vice Chancellor in both the campuses of NEHU Shillong and NEHU Tura. But he seems to be very adamant, and he did not respond a very favorable response to us throughout this whole year. And it is only now, when we are raising our voice, when we are raising our concerns, that the Vice Chancellor is telling us that he will be appointing two pro-Vice Chancellors in both the campuses, and that too without the prior approval of the Ministry of Education. So this is something that we want to say, that it is not that we, the Students' Union, we are adamant. In fact, for the matter of fact, let me put this in this way, that we are not adamant, but we are resolute. We have taken this firm decision that we no longer want this Vice Chancellor because of his adamant behavior. And it is in response to his adamant behavior that we have taken this firm resolution that we will be resoluting, and we will take this hunger strike to this extent that until and unless this Vice Chancellor steps down from the university, we will not call off this hunger strike protest that we have taken and we have started. Secondly, to say that the conditions of the students is getting worse with each passing day. So it is very true that we are losing our health. Our health conditions is deteriorating, but we have not received any kind of verbal communication from the Vice Chancellor seeking or asking the conditions of the students. For the matter of fact, the only response that we are getting from the Vice Chancellor is to call off the strike. the vice chancellor knows very well that we are very firm with our decision. So keeping that aside, at least on humanitarian grounds, the vice chancellor should have come. And keeping aside all those complications that we are having at the university right now, he should have at least come on the humanitarian ground and asked us like how we are doing, whether
All
any
right.
students is facing any kind of problems.
All right,
But that
all right.
has
And
not happened
Mr.
till date.
Karsati, on that note, very quickly, like you said, there were a number of you today who fell sick because of the hunger strike. So quickly, do you have an update for us as far as what is their health condition right now is concerned? How many of you were hospitalized due to the weakness today? And, any update as far as their health condition is concerned?
So presently, two of our members, they are being hospitalized. Initially, there were five, but then three of them, they came back, and two members are being hospitalized. One of the member is a female member. She is still, her condition is still not very stable. She is in serious condition. And the other one is also one of the executive member from the Khasi Students Union. His name is Meban Kharmaulong. His condition is very critical, so to say. He has been transferred from civil hospital to Nigram's Hospital, Shillong, and he is undergoing his MRI scan with regards to the seizure that he's having continuously because of lack of food and also because lack of rest and the poor condition weather that we are facing in Shillong right now. So all these things are making the students'
All
union
right.
suffer more and more, especially the students' community.
All right, all right. So, Mr. Karsati, a last question to you very quickly. The Vice Chancellor, while speaking to us, has said that he has been calling the protesting students for discussions to try and resolve the matter, but it doesn't seem like the protesting students are in any mood to entertain any discussion at this point. So, is there any sort of flexibility on the part of the students for any, discussion to try and, find a way forward to find a solution to this current predicament?
We have heard this communications from the Vice Chancellor asking the students to come and discuss in table talks for a healthy discussion, so to say, to compromise, to keep it in that note. However, the student union want to make it very firm that the earlier demands, keeping in mind that our earlier demands were never fulfilled at first place. And now it is only when we are demanding him to resign from this post, to him to step down, he is calling us for another formal discussion to discuss. So as we have already mentioned that we have lost confidence under his leadership being reasoned. Now when we are asking him to resign, now he is asking us to come and talk and he will resolve all the other problems that our university is facing. So we only find that this kind of communications, this kind of statement from the Vice Chancellor is just to save himself, to keep him in a safer side, and also to shy away from the problems that he has been doing, to shy away from all those wrongdoings which he did in the past. From our student
right.
side, this hunger strike